Hi everyone, I'm Liz, and welcome back to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch for this very spooky episode of Flosstube. Just kidding, it's all about Christmas stuff. But join me anyways, episode 93. Hello, welcome back for another Sunday Flosstube update. I'm Liz, and I'm here to share with you everything I've been working on the past couple of weeks, which is not as much as in past weeks, I'm going to be honest, because I had a mini business trip thrown into the middle of my last 2 weeks, out of nowhere, with no planning. So, I was not as crafty while I was away, obviously, but yeah. How have you guys been? Happy Halloween, the day before Halloween. I've got my Halloween gear all on. I decided this year I wanted a cozy sweatshirt, so I got this one off Etsy and I love it. It reminds me of Diego, who I did try to get in this video. Just like 5 minutes ago, I was in the kitchen trying to, tempt the cats with treats. They all come running, and I tried to bring Diego in here and he screamed and cried and tried to get away from me. Jonesy, you guys saw what happened last time. So I scooped up Honey, and here's what I managed to get with Honey. Okay, let's just say hi to the people. Look how big you've gotten. Whoa, whoa. So she's turned into a regular Jonesy, but she's still small enough that I can kind of contain her. Why are you so upset? That's Jonesy crying. Come here, Jonesy. You want to come say hi? Oh, I tried to get Diego. He yelled at me. Now Jonesy and Honey are in here, but they don't want me to pick them up, so that was your glimpse of cat. So yeah, my little Halloween boo crew of cats was not cooperating today, so, but oh well. If you want to see them, they're always on my Instagram. I hope everyone has had a good couple of weeks. Mine has been really busy. I'm in the middle of a project at work that's just all, it's trying to cross the finish line, as we say. And it's been really, really busy. And I found out last Thursday that I would need to get on a plane on Sunday, although I went on Monday morning, to go to California for work for a week. So super last minute. It's not usually how my job does things. So it was kind of a whirlwind of like, oh shoot, I gotta go. So I was gone this whole past week. I just got home last night, Friday night at like 10:30 p.m. So happy to be home. I really missed Rob. It's my first time being away while we were married. I mean, like since we've been dating and living together, I've gone on trips without him, but this one was a stressful one because it was work, and in the evenings, all I wanted was to hang out with him and talk to him because, when you're stressed out, that's all you want, right? So it was a little bit of a long week, but so happy to be back home and back to my sewing room, because that is one thing I did not get to do much of this past 2 weeks was sewing. I did a lot of stitching as per usual, but I did not meet my trip around the world quilt-along goal that I had set for myself last week. I didn't even complete one block. I'm really embarrassed. Anyways, I'll talk about that later in the sewing section, but I got a bunch of other stuff done. So anything else? Oh, I should I try to go off the cuff when I'm doing the intro and what I've been up to, just because, I don't know, usually I don't need to write notes, but I feel like my brain is completely gone this week, so I probably should have written notes, but that's okay. I'm just going to get into stitching, and as I think of things, I'll throw them in. Okay, speaking of Halloween, one thing I wanted to do for fun was walk you through my little front entryway setup where I have all of my Halloween stuff set up. So I thought I'd play a little video and talk you through what some of the charts and designs are as kind of like a little previous finishes segment. Okay, so The first thing is that little owl, and that was an exclusive from Friend Stitch last year, and yeah, I love that. Then I have a Lizzie Kate seasonal piece that's like a fall piece, has a little pumpkin on it. I turned that into a pillow. And then the one with the like tree with the orange ghost bucket kind of bottom, I think that was from the trilogy. I could be wrong. The one in the back is the wonderful Boo Pillow, was gifted to me as this year's Halloween exchange from Jennifer, Whistle Stop Stitcher, and that's a Hello from Liz Mathews pattern. And then next to it is is exclusive to Friend Stitch from last year as well. It was kind of a little chart, a little sampler chart they gave us that we finished in the class. And then I just have some hand-painted pumpkins and candy corn that I got on Etsy. And then one of my all-time favorite finishes is that drawn thread Halloween. I think it's called It's Almost Halloween is the chart. And finished that on a plaque that I hand-painted with some ghosts and some candy corn. Absolutely love that finish. Behind that is Stacy Nash. I'm forgetting the name of the chart. I'm sure you guys know this one. And I stitched that as called for and finished it on the called for board that I just added some polka dots to. And then above that is Barbara Anna All Hallows Eve. And yeah, one of my other favorite Halloween finishes. So yeah, that's kind of the Halloween setup in the front of my house. I have a few decorations scattered throughout the house, but that's like the main spot that I really decorate like seasonal small type cross stitch stuff. So yeah, even though this episode's about to be full of Christmas things, there's your little dose of Halloween. Okay, so the first thing I want to share is my FFO for the week, and that is my candy cane wall hanging. So I shared this with you guys in my last episode as a finished quilt top, and now I have got it all quilted and bound and ready to be hung on the wall. Almost ready to be hung on the wall. So I was originally thinking I would just use my trick of clear push pins or little tiny metal sewing pins as push pins just to pin this to the wall, because it's only going to be up for a month or two, right, during the Christmas season. And so I thought, yeah, I'll just pin it to the wall. But I was watching Helen D, East Coast Crafter. I was watching her Flosstube last week, and she showed a cross-stitch wall hanging she made, and this really cool, I think it was a spider web, or was it a bat? I think it was a spider web, and it was a mini quilt holder by Ackworth, Ackworth Design, something like that. And I've heard of them before, I've looked at them before, but I had totally forgotten that they make like little small wall hanging quilt holders. And I was like, wait, how cute would that be if I could get a little holder for it? So it did come in the mail this week while I was gone. And it just, oh gosh, can you see it? It's a star. Let me try and get my face out of there. So it's a metal star and with this little dowel rod. And so basically, I think I didn't quite realize what I was buying. I thought this would have like an open end to slide my quilt onto, but it's just a dowel rod. So I'm trying to think of what I'm going to do to hang it. It's the perfect size. You know, here's kind of what it'll look like, if you could even see the hanger up there. And I think what I'm going to do is maybe on the back side, sew in some little tabs with a button underneath. That way I can just button it around the wall hanger and just hang it, you know, like that. And then I'll just put a little nail in the wall to hang the hanger from. And so I think that'll be super cute. And I kind of went generic. They have a lot of really cute Christmas themed ones, but I decided to just go with the star because I figured I could use this for Christmas and for patriotic. So if I want to do like a little kind of summery patriotic themed wall hanging, I could also use this hanger and like switch things out. So that's why I kind of went with the generic star rather than like, you know, Merry Christmas or some, you know, kind of design like that. But yeah, okay, so that's the hanger. So I guess it's an FFO because technically I could hang it as is, but I think I am going to figure out a way to add some hangers to make this work. So I used a Riley Blake, I don't remember the designer, but I used a Riley Blake gingham on the back, and I just felt like it was a really good match for that dark red that's in kind of the border and the binding. And, I just did crosshatch quilting, which I think you can see it pretty well on the green. And what I did is I marked all my lines right up to the applique, but I did not quilt over the applique. So on the back of my quilt, you can probably see where the lines kind of stop and start, and that's around the applique shapes. And you can also probably see where I sewed like buttons on and things, but it's the back of the quilt and no one's ever going to see it because it's a wall hanging, so it doesn't bother me that the back is just like a tiny bit messy. And then I also put one of my Sweetwater quilt labels on because I'm really bad about labeling my projects, and I bought these Sweetwater labels and I was like, I better use them. I was gonna sew it on to the backing but forgot, so I just ironed it on. And since this is a wall hanging, I don't think, like, it's never gonna get washed, so I don't think the adhesive will come off. So yeah, and then I just used the binding, this red sashing. It comes with enough to use as the binding as well, so that's how it all finished out, and I'm just so happy with how this turned out, and I can't wait to have it up on the wall in, honestly, probably a couple of weeks when I start decorating for Christmas, because I can't wait to get all the Christmas stuff out. So, I don't even know if I said the name of this pattern. This is the Candy Cane Wall Hanging from Buttermilk Basin. I talked about it at length in my last video if you want some more information, but you can buy this as a kit at Buttermilk Basin, and that's what I did. So that's that one. Okay, I have 2 cross stitch finishes this week, and after having 4 last week, having 2 again this week I am pretty impressed with myself, if I'm gonna be honest. I really feel like I have not, well, and I know I haven't finished as many things this year as I did last year, but because I have a spreadsheet and I kind of keep track, and I think I finished 40 or 38 things last year, and I think I'm only in the 20s this year. So I know I'm not going to finish as many things, but I feel like I'm making a good effort to get a bunch more things finished as we get closer to the end of the year. And I have some ideas on what else I want to get finished. But anyways, I have 2 new finishes to share with you this week. And the first one is Prairie Schooler Christmas Eve, which I think I told you guys in my last video. I'm going to just work on this one till it's done. It only needed a few more nights. I think it ended up taking me about 5 more nights because, as I said, the first week after my last Flosstube was just super busy with work, even though I was home, and then, you know, the last week I was gone. So anyways, this took me pretty much 5 nights last week, or 2 weeks ago, to stitch, and I got it all done, and here it is. I absolutely love it. I think it turned out so good. Yeah. So this is Prairie Schooler Christmas Eve, and I stitched mine on a 32 count fabric, and it's fabric Flair, and it's called Tumbleweed. And so fabric Flair does the printed fabric. So this is essentially like a vintage country mocha from Zweigart. And I used all the called for DMC colors, except, actually, you know what, I say that. The brown of the reindeer, I can't remember what was originally charted, but it matched the 3371, the kind of dark brown black. It matched that way too closely. So I was like, I don't want to use that because then you can't see like the reins and the harnesses and stuff. So I did change my brown to just a slightly lighter shade. I don't know, I think dye lots maybe have changed since this pattern was produced, because on the cover of the pattern, you can totally see the reindeer and the reins, but anyways, so I did change my brown. But other than that, everything is exactly as called for. And I did use 2 strands of floss over 2 linen threads on 32 count fabric. So really excited to find a frame for this one. I kind of would love like a dark red that kind of matches the red in the piece. I feel like that would be really pretty, or maybe a forest green. For some reason I have like a painted frame in my mind when I look at this. So I also need to go back. Okay, the reason I originally kitted this up to start in 2020 is because Misty at Luminous Fiber Arts had just finished this and had it framed. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. I need to stitch this. So I should go back and look and see how she framed hers, because I remember loving that. So, yep, that's the first finish. Okay, so the next thing I finished was a Mill Hill kit that I forgot I ever started. So this was not on my whip list, but I guess now I've completed my oldest whip. I just found this in a drawer of random like tubes of Monaco and cross stitch stuff I haven't looked at in forever. And so this Mill Hill kit is from, I don't even have like the picture. It's just like the winter holiday collection Jingle Bell Wreath. And so it had been started, and I finished it while I was on my trip. I took this with me as kind of hotel stitching. Here, let me put this behind it. So here is my Jingle Bell Wreath. I think it's so pretty. So many beads. And you know what? I'm going to admit this. There should be more beads, because I just an hour ago, while I was getting ready to film, I was looking at this wreath and admiring my work. And if you look on the right ribbon, you're going to see that it's not fully outlined. It's missing a row of red beads. And you're like, oh, Liz, it's not that big a deal. You haven't FFO'd it. You can just add them. I could, except that I threw away the extra beads in the hotel room in California. Good job, Liz. I finished beading this, and while I was packing up on Thursday night, I threw away all the extra beads because I was like, oh, I finished this. I'm not taking the extra beads home, because I'll save the extra beads from kits sometimes, and then I literally never do anything with them. And I thought, I have plenty of red and green beads at my house. I don't need to bring these home. But do I have these exact red beads that I need? No, I don't. I don't. So, I'm calling this finished, but I honestly might get online and see if I can buy a little pack of these seed beads, these red seed beads, and add it, because it's not that big a deal. But now that I've noticed it, I feel like I'll just always notice it. So I might just order the beads online. I can't believe I threw them away, and I just missed that. Oh. It's really, honestly, not an Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch completed project until I've missed stitches somewhere. At least this one isn't framed yet. Like, I framed several pieces with missing stitches, so whatever. Anyways, that was my second finish of the week, Jingle Bell Wreath. I'm really happy to have more ornaments finished this year. I need to FFO them, because I feel like every year I've done so many ornaments, and this year I really hadn't until recently, so I'm getting some ornaments done. Okay, and then another project I took with me on my trip, I started it on Thursday night after I finished my Mill Hill kit, and I think I left the chart in my stitchy spot in the living room, so I'll put a picture of it up here. It's called Art to Heart, but it's the Just Another Button Company cross stitch pattern line, and it's from like 2009 or 10. It's pretty old, but I found it in person somewhere at an LNS that I was shopping at. I don't remember which one. I just happened to cross it and was like, this is super cute. And it's called Merry Christmas, and I gave it a start. It takes so many colors of floss, by the way, because every letter, as you can see, every letter is stitched with a different color. But yeah, I got my start on it, and it's actually going to be bigger than I thought. This is on 36 count, and it calls for 32, but it's still going to be pretty big. It's like a 95 by 95 design, so yeah. But I'm loving how it's turning out. I am using this Agave Zweigart linen that I used last year on my Barbara Anna Christmas Joy. And I had this leftover piece of it, and I thought this would be a good substitute for Weeks Grasshopper, which I don't have, couldn't find easily. So this is a little bit more muted than Grasshopper, but I think it's looking really pretty. So yeah, really excited about that one. I don't know if it'll be a finish for this Christmas, but I wanted to start it. I don't know why. I just like didn't really want to take whips on my trip this week. I just was like, I want something fun. Like, I want a new start. And yeah, so it was fun to start. Well, I guess the Mill Hill kit wasn't really a start, because I had started it like 5 years ago and forgotten about it. But I'm just calling it a new start. It was new to me. I hadn't worked on it. So yeah. Called for colors on this. I think I mentioned 36 count. I'm a little bit scattered. Again, it is Saturday night, Liz, because I have a lot going on tomorrow, and I know if I don't film tonight, it's not going to get done tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. That was my new start. My last whip is Winter Garden by Hello from Liz Mathews. My friend, Hello from Liz Mathews. I always tell her that I feel like braggy if I say my friend, but we've hung out several times now in person, and I think I get to call her that. Liz, don't correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways. I am stitching Winter Garden on 36 count antique lace by Seraphim Fabrics. And I'm using all the called for Glorianas except for the white, which is a Silken Colors substitution. And I have made a lot of good progress, I think. I was posting about this in my Insta stories like a week and a half ago. I got like this whole corner section in and then realized it was all a stitch off and the spacing was really going to bug me. Things were too close. And so I ripped it all out. But I got it all back in and then some. So I love this and I really don't have much more to do. I have like some butterflies and to fill in these flowers and the star. Finish the border. Bing, bang, boom. And this will definitely be done by winter. And winter for us is like January 15th through March 2nd. So it'll be a short-lived season, but yeah. That is Winter Garden by Hello from Liz Mathews. Okay, so let's talk about sewing for a second. I showed you my candy cane wall hanging from Buttermilk Basin. I'm just going to say it again because I forgot to say it earlier. And I finished that up 2 weeks ago. And then I was supposed to do one Scrappy trip around the world block a day for the next 2 weeks so that I could finish all of the 12 blocks I have left so I could assemble my quilt. And guess what? I did not do that at all. I have one block laid out on the table in front of me. I literally started this block like Monday after I filmed my Flosstube episode. I didn't do any on Sunday, but then Monday I started this block and I think it was just later in the evening and I was like, oh, I don't have time to finish sewing it together. Let me just lay it out in the strips and I'll come back to it the next day. Well, then like work was busy and I was stressed and then I was just like on the couch stitching and I didn't want to come in the sewing room and I kind of repeated that every day and then realized I was going to leave town and I was like, well, sewing's just not going to happen this time. So my new goal is that in the next 2 weeks, I will have this quilt top finished. So I will get all the blocks done, sew them all into a quilt top, and I'm going to make a quilting appointment. Now that I'm saying this goal out loud, I'm realizing I am going to be gone next weekend because I'm going to the Houston International Quilt Show. So, no, it's fine. I can do it. I can get it done. I can do 2 blocks a day. Yeah, 2 blocks a day is about an hour and a half. Oof. Yeah, I think I can do it. I think I still can do it because I will be home on Sunday next weekend. Just not Friday and Saturday. So yeah. Okay. So that's my plan is because also I really want to enjoy this quilt this Christmas. So it's time to get it done. And hopefully nobody at work calls me and tells me I need to be in California in 3 days again in the next 2 weeks because quite honestly, that might happen with the way something is going. But no, I think I'll be able to get this done. And then I just need to get over to the long armors and get it quilted. Definitely too late for me to be able to finish this and send this one out. That's where being able to quilt your own stuff comes in really handy when, when you're able to get like an appointment at a long arm place because instant turnaround and you don't have to mail it off and wait for it to come back. Ooh, speaking of mailing things off and them coming back, I did send my Holly Jolly Santa quilt to Keystone Sisters Quilting, and they just sent me a video of it being quilted, which I'll put up here, and told me that they're going to be mailing it back to me on Monday, and so I'm so excited because then I can get that one bound and hung up on the walls this year. And that's 2 new Christmas wall hangings for the year, so that's really exciting. I can really feel myself becoming addicted to smaller quilts because of how fast they are. I've just always been one who wanted to make couch or bed quilts. I make baby quilts for gifts, but it's I'm kind of if I can't snuggle with it on the couch, then what's the point? But I want awesome quilts to hang on the walls too. So yeah, I just made 2 of those. I made one for Halloween. I really want to make a Valentine's one. I've been looking around at some patterns and ideas, and yeah, small quilts are calling my name. So that's everything that I've been up to the past 2 weeks. I have some fun haul. And the first thing is very Halloween, which I know it's hilarious. I'm here in my Halloween sweatshirt. I even put on like some black and white earrings. I curled my hair. I put on my darkest lipstick, which I know is not that dark, but I put on like my most fall lipstick. And then I'm like, let's talk about Christmas because that's all I've been stitching. But my first bit of haul is the spooky box. Do they call it spooky box? Halloween box from Kitten Stitcher. So let me grab that. Okay, so here is my Halloween box. And I'm sure people have done unboxings of this, but I'm going to show you what's in mine, which I think is the same as everyone else's. These, I believe, are still for sale. I'll link Kitten Stitcher down below and you can go check it out. But I think there are still some of these left. And now you can see what's in it before you buy it if you want. So the first thing is this amazing little wooden figure. I'm trying to see. It's called a Chunky Sitter. And it's by Primitives by Kathy. And like, can you even handle how cute this is? Look at him. And he's got like a little pumpkin candy bucket. Like, out of control. So, I mean, this is the first thing I opened and I was so excited already. Next up is a big fun packet of charts and things. Okay, the first things that are not charts are a couple of stickers by, I think, from Kitten Stitcher. And they look like this. And then some Halloween labels for your needlework by Kathy Barrick. And we have that one. I haven't opened up the whole pack, but here's two different designs that are in there. So fun. And then there is a pack of Cauldron's Mist by, I think it's by Dames of the Needle, and it's a chenille trim. It's like a super dark brown. And then everything else, I think, is a chart or a kit. Yes. Okay. So the first one is from the Scarlet House, and it's called Ghosts and Goblins. And I think that's so cute. It's like very like silly, spooky Halloween, I guess. I don't know. I love his crazy outfit, like the chevron with the orange and white stripes. He's a very fashionable Halloween man. And then this one, I believe this one was one you could order as a kit, but or maybe that was the Scarlet House one. I don't know. The kits had sold out by the time I bought my box, so I don't remember which one could be kitted. But this one, I think, is one I definitely want to stitch, and it is Grimm's Haunt by Plum Street Samplers. And I just think it's super cool. Yeah, and I love this the little black cat, and then like hanging pumpkins. So super cute from Plum Street. And then there's this, which is half cross stitch, half embroidery, half buttons type of project. And it comes with the fabric and the buttons. So I think maybe it's just missing the threads, but it's this project. Let's see, who is it by? The Bee Company. And so that's like what you get inside. And then on the back, you can see like what the chart looks like. So it's very like prim and, you know, a little bit of stitching, a little bit of embroidery, some buttons, and then make it into a pillow. So that's super cool. I'm really not seeing anything like this. So I was super excited to get that. And then Lottie Da had a chart in there that I love so much. It's called Witch Hazel. Look at that little crow and her hat. It's really cute. And then my favorite for last, hello from Liz Mathews. She had this amazing design in there. And look at how it's done. It's called, what's it called? The Pumpkin House. And it's on two different pieces of linen. So it's on Haunted and from Picture This Plus, and then Beige from Weeks Dye Works. And they're sewn together in the middle, and you stitch the house on one and the pumpkin yard on the other. And I think that looks so cool. I don't know if I would stitch it that way, honestly. I might not be brave enough to try to do it, and then what if it doesn't line up perfectly, or if my 32 counts are like slightly off from each other? I don't know. That might stress me out. But I absolutely love the design, and I was even thinking about maybe just doing the fence of pumpkins as like a pillow design. Just 'cause that's so cool. It's so cute. But yeah, this pumpkin house chart, I squealed when I opened it. I was like, this is so cute. And I immediately texted Liz and I was like, good job, Liz. Because, you know, I'm a dork. Anyways, that was my spooky box or my Halloween box or whatever. Actually, I have my receipt. What did she call it? Oh, yeah, she just called it a Halloween box. I think I'm thinking of the Fat Quarter Shop spooky box that they keep advertising. And spooky season and, you know, spooky on the brain. Okay, so I also had a little bit of haul from Fat Quarter Shop. I got 4 mini charm packs. I got 2 of 2 different designs. So I got this Hey Y'all by Allie K. That's kind of like black and white Texas themed print. I have some yardage of this. So I got 2 charm packs of this for some pillow ideas I have in my head. I don't know. I'm just like kind of addicted to mini charm packs right now. And then I got 2 of this Ladybird mini charm packs. And so you might remember I made my sister a quilt out of Ladybird, which I still need to quilt. I mistakenly made my quilting appointment for next Saturday, forgetting that we were going to be in Houston, so I need to reschedule that. But for these 2 mini charm packs, what I want to do is I have this pattern from Minky Kim. What's her pattern brand name? Sewing Illustrations? Sewing Illustrated? I'll link it below and I'll put a picture of the pattern that I have. It's a download, so I don't have like a physical thing. But it's a crossbody bag and it calls for 2.5-inch square patchwork panels on the outside of the bag. So I got some mini charm squares to make that, you know, piecing a little bit easier and have all one fabric line rather than digging through my scraps, which honestly, I should start digging through my scraps because I have way too many scraps, but I'm the kind of person that finds it really intimidating to sew out of my scraps for something scrappy. Like, I like scrappy when it's like all one fabric line. I'm really bad at like scrap quilting, but someday maybe I'll get there. But for now, I'm buying mini charm packs. It's fine. But anyways, that bag is on my like to-do list at some point, soon-ish. So I got some mini charm packs. And I think I need to find a couple other specialty things like some D-rings and some like handle clasp things. I don't know. The bag has a couple specialty parts that I need to order online before I can start making it. Oh, I forgot one of the things I got from Fat Quarter Shop was the new Heart and Hand Doodles Christmas. And I mean, is it Christmas? Yeah, Christmas. I didn't know if it was Noel or Christmas. I mean, how cute is this? Like the stocking and the candle are just perfect. And I got all of the floss to go with it. I think it's most of them. There might have been 1 or 2 colors that Fat Quarter Shop was out of, but they've added that thing that 1-2-3 Stitch does where you can add all the thread at once to your cart, and it's dangerous for my wallet, but like so great. I absolutely love when sites have that feature because it's like, just let me kit it up. So I got all the floss, except for maybe 1 or 2 of them. I'll have to look and see what I have in my stash. Okay, so we had a couple of giveaways in the last video, and let's do some winners. Okay, first up for giveaway was the journal and the Stitchy Flosspities, both courtesy of the Fat Quarter Shop, and that goes to Sandra Sharp. Sandra, congratulations. Please email me at the link below and send me your address and I will mail these out to you. So congratulations. And next up was the Wee Santa chart and the Christmassy Flosspities. And courtesy of Fat Quarter Shop, courtesy of me forgetting what charts I own. And that winner is Noreen Mose. Noreen. So congratulations. Send me an email and I will get this sent out to you. I did have one person who won the basket pattern, the Thanksgiving basket pattern, who hasn't gotten back to me. And I think maybe the frosty typeface. I don't know. But I think there's 1 or 2 people that haven't gotten back to me from the last video. So if you haven't watched last week's video, I'll go find the people and try to comment on their comment. Anyways, but I haven't heard from a couple people from last week. So if I don't hear from you in the next 2 weeks, I'll give them away to somebody else. Okay, so I wanted to do a Halloween giveaway this week, and this time it's going to be easy. It's just going to be an Etsy gift card for $50. So 1 Etsy gift card to 1 lucky winner. And if you want to be entered to win the gift card, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel or already be a subscriber. leave a comment, like the video, and in your comment, use the word Halloween. So yeah, that'll be the Happy Halloween giveaway this week. And I think that might be it for me this week. This is probably a little bit of a short one. I guess I'll find out when I'm editing. But yeah, I'm really hoping over the next 2 weeks I can spend a lot of good time in my sewing room, because absolutely I need to get my Scrappy Trip Around the World quilt done, because I want to enjoy that this season. And I need to get the quilt back together for my sister's ladybird quilt that I made. I made the quilt top like a couple of months ago. At this point I finished it, and it's just been sitting over here and like stacked up or folded up, waiting to get its quilt back made. And so I need to finally just make the quilt back and reschedule my quilting appointment, because we're going to be out of town next weekend. And then I'll have that one, and then my Scrappy Trip Around the World quilt to hopefully quilt at the same time. Yeah. So I have a lot I want to work on. And speaking of wanting to work on stuff, the project folder tutorial that I was telling you guys about and my EPP project bag, I really wanted to work on both of those the last couple of weeks, but again, I was gone half those 2 weeks. So not a lot of sewing, but I'm really hoping to get a lot more done in the coming weeks. So yeah, join me 2 weeks from now to find out if I did it. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.